Surprise, surprise, surprise. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is not a doctor. Holy moly.
You trying to brag, but I'm just saying, old girl flat out a hustler. I watch her when she word things.
No.
A lot of people don't know how to talk to her. I'll be like, are you a licensed doctor? I want to see you slither out of that. You're not a registered doctor. Everybody looked it up. A lot of people looked it up.
Everybody thought we were just being haters. Everybody thought we were just trying to keep a cute black woman down because we were jealous.
A license is really only needed so you can bill insurance.
That is incredibly misleading. Yes,
That's what that dude that was putting in them fake teeth down in Atlanta was saying. He's like, I need a license. Y'all ain't telling me I need a license.
But now we've got a female licensed therapist with a doctor in front of her name. And she wants to tell you exactly what we've been telling you for almost 2 years now.
No longer practice under a license. Right now I'm in private practice, I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit.
Hello, my name is Dr. Raquel Martin. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, professor of sciences, and podcast host who specializes in Black health and well-being. And I want to break down a clip from the Joe Budden podcast featuring someone who presents herself as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. But before we dive in, I want to make something incredibly clear. Having a doctor does not mean someone is a licensed mental health professional.
Does she have one, though? We've been trying to get to the bottom of that for a very long time.
Oh, she playing in the gray area. So maybe she does. But see, you can just get a doctorate. They can just give you one off the strength that you're real good. I think Flavor Flav or somebody got a doctorate. They just give them out. Like if you give enough money to a school or something, they'll make you an honorary doctor. Look at Dr. Dre. Look at Dr. Seuss.
The school that she went to no longer exists. There's some very convenient.
Look at Dr. J. All right, I'm going to shut up.
Omissions and missing things from this doctorate.
You can have a doctorate in literature and be unlicensed, and you are still a doctor. You can have a doctorate in education and hold an LPC, being a licensed professional counselor, and you are a licensed mental health professional, and you are still a doctor, but your doctorate is not in psychology. When evaluating anyone's credentials, it's really critical to look at two things: what their doctorate is actually in, and whether they hold a relevant clinical license. In this case, the person you're about to hear from is unlicensed. I'm going to break down why that matters and why this particular message is harmful, especially to the Black community that she claims to be serving and that I actually serve.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Not the strong Black community.
A license is really only needed so you can bill insurance.
That is incredibly misleading. Yes, you do need a license to bill insurance, but that is not why licensure exists. Licensure protects you. It means I have completed specific education and supervised clinical hours past rigorous.
And you could tell she a therapist. This lady look like a therapist. Her glasses like a therapist. She talk like a therapist. Her clothes look like a therapist. She's a therapist. She's trying to fix us through the phone.
Exams, and I'm accountable to a regulatory board. If I breach confidentiality, if I cross ethical boundaries or harm you, you have somewhere to file a complaint and be sure that I'm accountable. A license is not paperwork just for billing. It's a consumer protection.
And this is what we were screaming when she was saying that Ray J was one of her clients, because Ray J has been on a nonstop crash out. You know, shout out to the brother.
Ray J is her client. This makes everything make much more sense. Hire Cheyenne Bryant. You can be just like Ray J.
Her celebrity clients, and we're looking at how he is behaving in the public sphere, how he is melting down in some ways. You can't help but be concerned. That's all we were saying. But somehow, everybody's a misogynist. That all the male podcasters need their mics taken away. We were ringing the alarm before this lady even got.
I mean, you could be a misogynist and she could be a liar too. Like both things can exist. It's not like it's one or the other.
Window who she was.
When someone drops or loses or no longer has a license, they're not solely avoiding the insurance hassle. They're also removing your recourse if something goes terribly wrong.
Binded by BBS, the Behavior Board Science Rules and Regulations and Ethics, and so it just opened up a whole nother floor in industry for me.
And she's also saying this like it's a good thing. I want to state something really important. Ethics codes exist to protect you from exploitation and boundary violation and providers practicing outside of their competence. When someone celebrates being free from ethical oversight, I want you to think of that as a red flag, a flashing one.
Beaming.
It's a warning sign because those rules exist because real harm happens when they're not in place. So celebrating that you don't have to be accountable.
Is that why Ray J got them bloody eyes? They said his eyes is bleeding.
To that should be concerning to you.
As a therapist, two things: you can obviously make what you deserve because therapy is real. We're giving everything we have in there.
You hear that? She's talking about money.
What if you have nothing? Well, she talking about money. You're gonna give everything you have. I get it.
You can get what you deserve is what she's talking about. That is her main motivation. If you haven't noticed, anybody who's been paying attention noticed this already. But we need to have reinforcements before people take us seriously on what we're saying. Insane. Should be listening to black men far more than you do.
And we're unpacking shit and we're helping you process through things. So it's not us sitting there, well, if you're an effective therapist saying, tell me more. You should be unpacking and you should be able to take somebody and drive with them to their goal.
And here's another thing. She keeps calling herself a therapist, and in most states, that's actually illegal without a license. You cannot legally use the title therapist or provide psychotherapy without licensure.
Why not?
What she's describing now is coaching, and coaching and therapy are fun.
Oh, you're a coach. She's a damn coach. That's what's up. See, she got to change her verbiage.
Fundamentally different. Coaches help with goals and accountability. Therapists are trained to diagnose.
And she's been using them interchangeably.
And treat mental health conditions, trauma and depression and psychosis. If someone with untreated bipolar disorder or PTSD thinks they're getting therapy from a coach, they're going to be seriously harmed.
Yes.
These are actual conditions that go undiagnosed and untreated, especially within the black community.
Wow. My clients, the truth is that in order to bill insurance, I have to diagnose you. And you only get about 6 weeks. In order for me to get 6 more weeks approval, guess what?
This frames diagnosis as something imposed on you solely for insurance purposes, and that's backwards. A diagnosis isn't a billing trick. It's clinically meaningful information that guides treatment. And the 6 weeks claim is also not accurate across the board. Now, I'm not saying that we should not be addressing insurance because we need to rise up when it comes to insurance authorizations. Like, we very much do. That is a different video. But insurance authorizations vary widely by plan, diagnosis, and medical necessity. Many people receive months of years of covered therapy. And she's also making it sound like licensure forces short-term diagnosis-driven care. And that's just simply
right. She's talking like all you suckers over there with licenses practicing therapy.
Right. You're going to those real doctors, all that medical school. They just getting you. They overcharging you. You can just come to me. I tell you what's wrong with you. I talk to you. What you paying them? Pay me half. Ray J is my client.
Responsibly, y'all won't ever be able to make the money that I'm making. Y'all won't ever be able to get your worth or your value. Something interesting about that when you think about some of her views on dating and how much money the man should bring to the table in her situation, so it kind of gives you an indication of her motivation, and it's not to help, unfortunately.
Not how it works as someone who is actually a licensed mental health professional.
Majority of people who know that in order to bill insurance as a therapist or a physician or a psychologist, psychiatrist, you have to diagnose. So what do they rather do? Pay out of pocket.
That's what
and so when I realized that, I thought, well, okay, it may create a gap within our community, our black community, who can't afford health care or afford mental health services.
Man, Ray J, your client. Ray J rich as I don't know what. He came out with them headphones. What are you talking about? She act like she talking to underprivileged people and people in the gutter, homeless services and all that stuff. You talking to Ray J. Charging him whatever you want. I'm pretty sure he doing it to you. That's my thoughts. It's not backed up by nothing. I don't know her or Ray J. But if my doctor wore a pussy lip outfit outside with the full vagina, and I'm paying Ray J kind of money, I expect a happy ending.
Here, their concern and the access problem is real. Her solution.
But wait a minute. This is the same woman who had something on her website that was $10,000. I got to pull up the video because we covered this already. So it isn't to save the black community money. I don't know what kind of freebies she's doing out here, but it sounds like most of her clients that she's mentioned are celebrities. So are they paying less or are they paying more? Is this giving more access or is this VIP
That's what I was thinking.
experience from the doc with a chain on her neck that says doc?
Unregulated, unlicensed coaching isn't the answer. And there are a wealth of licensed black therapists, he, she, and they, black-owned practices, sliding scale clinics, community mental
Oh, you one of them therapists.
health centers doing this work with their licensure intact, keeping their credentials because their clients deserve protection. The solution to healthcare access gaps isn't removing safeguards. It's expanding access to regulated care. It's providing more scholarships for people like us to get the training necessary. It's more support group. It's actually mutual aid, but it's not what she is stating.
I'm in private practice. I make much more money. It allows me to have more leverage and really be hands-on with my clients. I'm not binded by BBS, the behavior board science of science.
I can do what I want. So basically she's saying, I'm not a therapist at all. I'm a person. I'm a person who calls myself doctor. Doctor is actually her first name. Her parents named her that. Doctor.
Rules and regulations and ethics.
And I want to be honest about what's really happening here because the messaging is awful to me.
Yes.
The pitch to potential clients is, I can give you more personalized care. The pitch to herself is, I make significantly more money and I'm not bound by any kind of oversight. And those are two entirely different things. And when your financial incentive is disconnected from professional accountability, that is a conflict of interest. However, she is not bound by anything when it comes to conflicts of interest because the only thing that she is bound by is the limits of her own ethics and morality.
Yep.
Look, coaching has real value, and y'all know I hold real coaches down. If you want goal accountability, a coach can help, but coaching is not therapy, and no coach worth their salt will say anything other. If you're dealing with mental health like anxiety and depression and trauma and these other things, you deserve a licensed mental health professional whose conduct is subject to oversight. And I know it sounds like gatekeeping, but it's truly basic safety, and it's important in communities where access has been denied historically. The answer
You're a hater, shorty. Stop hating.
never been fewer protections for us as black people. It has always been more access to regulated, accountable care because we deserve that.
Ask yourself if any of these podcast appearances that the people that she's speaking to or has in session in some way end up in a better position by the end of the episode. Has she helped as many people?
Right, because Ray J's eyes has been bleeding. Jay just skeeting blood. He couldn't even wear these glasses. He need the windshield wipers on the inside. Just blood everywhere. Ray J's eyes. He going to this doctor.
In these podcast episodes, or has she potentially caused more division in a lot of ways?
And I also want to address that it took me some time to think about doing this video because as a black woman, it's just been really, really tough for us as black women. And as someone who states that they advocate for the black community, he, she, and they creates programs for the black community, is the founder of the largest mental health and education community for black women in the country. I totally understand where we're at when I'm holding my programs and things of that nature. But I do want you to know that I always state that my black love is also accountability. And being black does not mean that.
Hold on, we're not going to let her slide by with that word. How many times have you heard black men say that a lot of women lack accountability?
Well, she's a therapist, so she knows what the word means in theory.
Reason. There's a reason. Oh, listen to black men when they're talking to you. Stop playing around thinking you know more than somebody else, especially when somebody's trying to help you. No, but you know too much. You know so much more than they do. Oh, yeah. You know more than they do. There's a reason I got this microphone right now.
And being black does not mean that when I'm dealing with other black people, I'm pro-blackness no matter what you do. That's just never going to be the case. So I don't want you.
No, that's how people feel. That's what people think. They definitely think that. How you going to tell another black man, no matter what he does? How you going to call out another black man? How you going to, I hate to see a black man talk to a black man about a black man. Like, nigga, he robbed him, he shot him, he pistol whipped him. Pooh Shiesty, nigga. A black man, come on, man. If a black man, the black man shouldn't black man to a black man. Fuck out of here, nigga.
I don't want to hear anything about like, oh, this is an attack on a black woman. It's not solely, it was the aspect of supporting black people was never about supporting just black people no matter what they do.
Right, it ain't even about supporting mediocrity. It means give yourself a chance, spend your money with your own people. Patronize your own people, but not at all costs. Why should we receive less? Because you black? Hell no. I think we should always support black, but at the same time, I believe if you're black and you're putting something out there into the world, put your foot in it. Give it to us good. Pause. But give it to us. You put your best foot forth because you still must compete. Not only are you going to have to compete with all the other races, and if that's so important to you, but you're also going to have to compete within the black community. Let's say it's 4 black bakeries. What am I go to? The nicest one. Not the one where the donuts are hard and broken up. Oh, you gonna do that to a black man? If a black man said it's a black man's donuts, you can't buy a black man's donuts? No, I don't want them. Anyway, don't get me started.
Supporting black people in love and also having accountability. Right. And these messages are wrong, and they have been wrong, and they have consistently been wrong.
Yes.
And as someone who has the size of a platform that I have, I think it's important for me to share psychoeducation and information because I understand the significance of it. And I understand the significance of it because I'm actually working in this field. This is a really harmful message. And I do understand that there's this aspect of like things are entertainment, but these things are harming us. And I know they're
she's trying to be Dr. Joyce Brothers or somebody, you know what I mean? Dr. Ruth. I guess there was a Dr. Ruth, but I don't know these.
But I think Dr. Ruth is a real doctor though. She seems very funny. How do you stick the penis into the vagina? That's how she sounds. I don't know if y'all never seen Dr. Ruth.
It didn't seem like those people were as malicious or bull in a china shop as we've seen Cheyenne be on multiple occasions.
And they wasn't out there really trying to take clients. They basically just went on talk shows and was funny and talked about sex and stuff.
One in particular I can think of is what her situation was with Cam Newton. I believe she put his relationship in somewhat jeopardy by some of the advice and suggestions that she made on the show, which he did not ask for.
Harm us because I'm actually working in the field. I am a doctor who creates content, but I do want to state that when I say the titles in the beginning of my video, I'm actively doing that work. I'm actively conducting research on Black identity development and mental health and well-being of the Black community. I am actively practicing as a licensed clinical psychologist and see patients weekly and have been seeing patients for over a decade. I am actively a professor and working with youth. I'm actively a health educator when it comes to training clinicians in cultural humility so that they can serve us better. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of individuals will say it's not that deep or state that it's just entertainment is because one, you think mental health in psychology is just folk wisdom, and it's not, it's a science. And two, you guys are very...
It is. We just, as Black people, we don't want to accept that. That's accepting an L. We're very prideful people. And Black people, I think, sometimes feel like getting therapy, you have to admit there's something wrong with you, something that no one can see, and therefore you're forced to admit it. So you got to just say, I'm messed up. I need help. And I think that's a tough thing to do for the already bruised ego and pride of a lot of Black people. Not all Black people. I don't want to hear everybody in the comments. Not all Black. I'm very prideful. I go to therapy 9 times a day. All right. That's cool for you. But I'm just saying, in general, our people, that's a part of it. And another part of it is, what if you're in survival mode, which many of my people can be in? You're trying to get these bills. You're trying to get your money up. You're moving around and you're not realizing what it's doing to your psyche. You know what I mean? And you've been trained throughout your whole life. Just don't worry about that. Put that to the side, particularly for men. I'm not sure so much as women. They get the chance to hug and cry and all that other stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Here we go.
Insulated from the field that you claim to be discussing because you don't work in that field and you haven't in quite some time. But as someone who walks into the offices and sees the clients and goes to the talks and does the community programs, we are struggling. And these little entertainment only pieces that are spreading misinformation, you're doing more harm for the Black community than you know.
Wow.
And the reason why you don't know is because you're so insulated from the Black community. You just sit in front of these mics and you make all these money and you do all these Patreons and you wear these crazy hats and you do all that. But I would actually say I don't see these kind of places as pro-Black. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. And the only way you would know that is if you did the work that I do. And you're never going to, because one, you're not qualified.
Right.
And two, it would break you down. It would break you down every single day. I've never heard so many people saying licenses and degrees didn't matter until more Black people started getting licenses and degrees.
Damn. That was anti-Black. She must be a tether. She a tether, y'all. She a tether. She should have said none of that. She must be from Jamaica.